Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Will here again. So I got a reading here for my friend Sale. I've done a few readings for her in the past. So I figured I'm probably gonna send this out like a email type reading as well. But I also wanted to make a video just so I can say that I'm staying updated on the YouTube channel. And I also want to thank everybody that's been supportive of me throughout this whole tarot card journey or whatever. I've met so many interesting people. And I think that it's really cool that you guys have given me so much insight to your lives, even though you're all across the world and I'm a stranger from Michigan. I think that it's pretty cool that you guys have trusted me with that. And I'm really, really grateful. So this is going to be a relationship style reading. These are what I'm most proficient at and what I think I do the most of. I haven't done any like general horoscope type readings in quite some time, but we'll see what we got going on here. So I'm not going to put my friend's situation on blast here, but she's had an on and off again relationship with a man she's seeing, and she's kind of been left in the dark as to what's going to happen next. And I don't like to necessarily predict the future, although I do feel like I can do so fairly accurately. But I like to kind of give people insight on what they should do, what they should expect, or what some potential outcomes are, or what some things that they should look out for. And it's not a magic trick. These are all common human experiences, and I've dealt with enough complicated situations to be able to kind of have the insight to recognize what's going on with male female psychology and all of that. And I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination on love or relationships, God knows that, but I have been around the block a few times. So let's see what we got going on here. I'm gonna draw like 9 or 10 cards here. And I think Sale is learning tarot herself because she sent me pictures of some cards that she's read in the past. And I don't really, I do sometimes, but if I'm going to interpret other people's cards, I kind of like to have them be laid out a certain way. And I'm kind of regimented and formal about the way that I read them out, although I do stray from this occasionally. When I do readings for people, I go between 5 and, 9 cards. So let's see what we got here. Okay, Sale, I think that this is very evident of your situation. So the first card that I drew for you is the 9 of Swords. This means that you're feeling stuck to a situation or feeling tied down to a particular situation. There is an escape in sight, and you can easily just walk away from this, because if you look in the picture, your legs aren't bound, but you're hoodwinked, your eyes are covered, and you're tied up at the torso, but you can easily walk away from this. And this is kind of like a self-imposed prison. The next card that I drew representing you is the Tower card. Now, this is arguably the scariest the scariest card in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. I've drawn it for myself a few times too, specifically in relationship readings. Now, this means I think that this means that there's been and this isn't something that's sudden, because this is something that's been going on for a long time, but I think that you're still coming to grips with an unexpected turn of events. I think that this kind of represents a grand or unexpected change in your life, and you just gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. That's not necessarily a Tower card, but that is the Tower moment, because it's giving birth is a beautiful thing. But it is scary to have to do it alone, and especially without the supports that you need. And I think that you're still coming to terms with that, and it's going to be kind of like a fresh start type situation. Now, your partner, or I guess we can't really call him that, I drew Strength reversed, which I see as using strength in an inappropriate fashion, or even weakness or cowardice. And I also drew the Queen of Cups, which means nurturing a romantic feeling. And, I'd like to read this in the reverse position as well, because I see this as kind of a positive card. However, I don't think that he's doing positive things right now. I think that he's nurturing other love interests, or fantasizing about other love interests, and he's not manning up and taking care of the responsibilities that he's already committed to. Being a father is a big deal, and it takes a lot of work, and I don't think that he's prepared to do that in the way that you need him to. I think that he's seeking he's seeking something else. He's seeking emotional fulfillment, but he's not seeking parenthood at this time. The next card I drew is the Five of Wands. And this is kind of the position that I put this card in, is like what connects you to the people in your life, or what connects you to this situation. And I see this as a card of like strife, not necessarily dangerous strife, but the type of, and strife means like a, you know, a conflict. And I see this as a conflict of ideals or values. You value maternity very much. You value being a good parent and being a good mother and being a good and committed partner as well. However, I don't think that he shares this value with you, and this has caused you a great deal of internal conflict and left you feeling like this. You felt stuck like this for a long time, and that's really unfortunate. And if I'm not mistaken, the cards that you sent me also included this card and this card as well. So I think that that's interesting. So some potential outcomes, or some things that could happen. I drew the Four of Wands, and I see this as a card of like new passion or new romance, or even like some people have identified this as like the marriage card, because if you look, there's a man and a woman in there. I don't necessarily believe that it will be this individual, but you're young and beautiful, and I can see somebody else stepping up to the plate and giving you the type of emotional fulfillment that you're looking, but you have to open your heart for it. And I don't think that you have the right mindset right now to accept new love. I think that you're still hurt and you're still hung up and you're still going through your tower moment, which is completely understandable. This was a traumatic situation, and I can totally, I get it. It's hard, but you've kind of got this mindset where you are emotionally unavailable and unwilling to open your heart to new opportunities or new things, but they're totally out there. You just have to prepare yourself and, you know, be ready to accept new things into your life. And maybe now isn't the best time for that, because you're adjusting to being a parent of a infant again, which has got to be challenging. So some other cards that I drew as potential outcomes. I did draw the King of Cups, which I see this is a card of emotional mastery, or maybe someone that is new and more responsible will come into your life if you allow them to. But I also drew Death reversed. Now, the Death card doesn't necessarily mean anybody's going to die. I explain this every time I pull this card. But what it does mean is old things have to be cleared out of your life in order for new things to come into your life. And if we look at the card, the death, there's the sun shining in the background, and death is holding up a flag with a flower on it. So this is a card of not necessarily death, but rebirth. Now, I drew this card in the reverse position, so I think that this is also kind of a testament to the Six of Pentacles that I drew right here in the reverse position too. I think that you're having a hard time accepting the situation, and I think that you still need to heal and get through the Tower card moment in order for these new opportunities to come into your life. But they're definitely out there, and it'll definitely happen as soon as you're willing to accept the situation, and as soon as you're willing to not necessarily, I don't want to say take responsibility, because you are taking responsibility, but taking responsibility for the relationship failing and there not being anything that you can do. You really need to let this situation go, Sal. And I see that as being difficult. I see death reverse, the way that I've described it to people. If this is like a quick and painless death to start something new, and not necessarily death, we're talking about metaphorical death, then in the reverse position, it's a slow and painful death. It's difficulty letting go, but we have to just let go of the situation in order to move forward. And there's new romantic opportunities in the future if you can do so. I really hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I know I'm a little bit slow getting back, but I've got lots of requests coming in, and it is a little bit difficult to keep up with them. Wishing you the best. Thank you very much, YouTube, and have a great week.